All right, welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And Marina's not here with us tonight because she's having all sorts of laptop issues and got
Oh,
hacked, and she finally got everything sorted out, and now she's all grumpy pants.
yeah.
Doesn't want to, not in the mood for doing a reading tonight. And frankly, I don't blame her. I think I'd be grumpy pants too.
Indeed.
And even worse, I say elbows out and it's elbows up. So she
Yeah,
must
I
be.
was wondering. It's like maybe I
I
missed.
looked it up, and it's like I did elbows out. It says or elbows up. It's like I thought I had typed in the right one. I did not. And since it was an email message, not like a text, I couldn't correct it. So, oh well, I'll be the idiot American who can't get it right. I'll be like that parent that tries to use all the cool, hip, new teenage phrases
That's right.
and just can't quite get it right. Oh, you must be. I took too much LDS back in the '60s.
That's
Oh,
right.
you were a Mormon back in the '60s, were you? Wow, how psychedelic!
That's right. It's
Yeah,
funny.
our mother used to try and do that. It was a fail.
LDS.
No, mom. Yeah, that'd be great. Mom should take all sorts of LDS. No, when we were in high school, mom would try and figure out what the cool slang was, and then try and use it in a sentence. And she would let's put it this way: when our mom was in high school, she probably didn't use any of the cool slang because it was a foreign language to her.
When
It's a,
our mom was in high school, the bee's knees was the slang of the day.
she wasn't exactly the cool chick, if you know what I mean. She was the nice girl, kind of the oh look, there she is, all sunshine and happiness, and kind of a little bit on the dingy side of things, and trying to be cool, pick up your cool in your 40s. It was too late. The bus left. She was walking to school.
Poor mom.
True or false?
I wasn't there.
True or false?
I
You can extrapolate. You've lived with her for 50 years.
Based on
Your
extrapolation,
50-something years of cognizant consciousness with her? Yes.
Probably true.
Yeah, probably. When you mean probably true, you mean like 110% true, right?
Well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think
She might
Dad?
be watching this, and I've got my T-shirt on.
Oh, your wooden spoon survivor shirt?
Yes,
Yeah.
Wooden Spoon Survivor, baby.
It just showed wooden spoon. your mom's right hand man.
That wooden spoon was my mom's right hand man.
As speaking of right hand man, it's like you do something wrong, and you could be sent to bed with that. You could be sent to your room without supper, or get hit with a wooden spoon.
Yes,
it could be one or the other.
Right, it could be one or the other. Sometimes it could be both.
Sometimes it could be both. Depends how much you mouth off. Now, if only we had somebody with a wooden spoon governing the White House right now.
Yes.
So we need mom to go up there. That was a horrible segue. I tried to
yeah.
segue.
So what Dave's really fumbling on is that
our family fails in all sorts of things, and we're continuing.
Trump had what I consider to be a pretty major faux pas. Even in Trump world, they have to be concerned by this. And so what was happening was he was having a meeting with Netanyahu, and they're probably having a hug fest in the Oval Office. And the reporters are firing questions at him because I guess that's what you do. I mean,
that's what reporters do. I don't know why he was fielding them, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so a reporter said, hey, we're getting mixed messages on tariffs from your administration. Yep. Some people in the administration are saying that the tariffs are permanent, and some are saying the tariffs are open for negotiation. And Trump was quoted as saying, well, it can be both. It can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can be negotiations, because there are things that we need beyond tariffs. We need open borders. And then he goes on to talk about how they almost had a deal with China, and then the feed cuts off. And to me, it's like, that's bad. That's really, really bad, because Trump has been making his name on the border for the last, 10 years. and just anti-border, anti-immigrant, build the wall. Mexico's going to pay for it. I'm going to close down the border. I should have the power to close down the border. And probably what his addled brain was trying to say was like a free trade or open trade. He said open border. And to me, that's a major, major cognitive screw up.
Yeah.
Because he definitely knows the difference. And he completely botched it.
Certainly
And talk about mixed messaging. His whole campaigning was on closing the border, and now he's all for open borders. Personally, I support the president on that one.
Yeah. Sleepy Don. He's woke now. Maybe he's woke Don.
God, maybe it's time to take the keys away.
Yeah, it's been time to take the keys away from that guy for a while. And I'm sure the Republican senators and Congress people will come out and say, what he really meant to say was, we need immigrants who aren't illegal immigrants, who aren't rapists and murderers coming over here. Just they'll spin it to whatever they want it to be. But the fact of the matter is he said what he said.
Yeah.
And if he can't communicate a coherent thought, he's in the wrong job as the president of the United States and of one of the most powerful countries, if not the most powerful country in the world, certainly the country with the most powerful military in the world. And up until recently, maybe the most powerful economy, but he's sure handing that mantle over to China sooner rather than later. And I thought it was Biden that was owned by China. Yeah. Trump's giving China the world here.
Yeah, and the markets had another fantastic day, it seems.
It was funny because the futures were down heavily last night, like 3.5% on the S&P. And when I checked this morning, they were actually up like 2 percentage points or 3 percentage points. And I found out later the reason why they were up was there was hope that there would be a pause in the tariffs. Every time the market's gone up the last 2 days, it's because of a rumor or some guidance where they think that the tariffs are going to get lifted and the market gets all hopeful. And then when they talk to the Trump administration, they say no.
Nope.
And in this case, China said, no, we're actually imposing tariffs now on the United States. And that crushed the market and sent it down another 1.5% or so today.
Yeah. That's probably what Trump was referring to.
But the world is not going to blink. Now, there are countries that are negotiating with Trump, and I think that's by design. Trump and his family started crypto in October, and I strongly suspect that as part of this, when these countries like Italy and Taiwan and others negotiate their tariff deals with Trump, they will end up buying lots and lots of Trump crypto. I was looking at it's non-transferable, and all it does is gives you a vote in the company that issued it, which is like this Liberty Financial Group or something that Trump and his family own. So to me, it's a dark web way of bribing Trump and getting very little influence with it. I hate this man. I hate this man. I hate his family. I hate this whole situation. And there's seemingly nothing we can do. It's like watching a mob rush a store and rip everything off the shelf and run off with their pockets full. The smash mobs that they had going into buildings. It's as frustrating as that. And you just wonder where the police presence is to enforce the law on this.
Well, the Republican is the party of law and order. So,
well, so you as the token Republican, and actually, no, you're not a Republican anymore, are you?
No, I still am. I haven't swapped parties.
Okay, you commie pinko. You can start off the reading then. Tell us about your boy Donald and your boy Peter.
Yeah. Well, we'll do the Peter Navarro reading another time, but let's take a look at the energy around Donald Trump's mental state for entertainment purposes only. So he said he was all for open borders, and you know what? I support the president on that. Let's just take a look at where this current mental state is. So foundation of the reading is the Knight of Wands. He has an agenda that he is moving forward. There are actions that need to be taken, and they rhyme with tariff. The challenge is that these tariffs are not being embraced. And he's losing a lot of his star power because of it. Underneath it, the Empress, it's all about he wants the tariffs in place because he thinks that this is going to benefit and bring all this wealth and prosperity to the United States.
Not to the United States, to him.
Yeah, well, that too. In the past, we're going to do the tariffs because I'm the emperor.
Yep.
You do what I tell you. And that's he has never been held accountable in his entire working career. Personal life, probably too. But because Trump Enterprises or whatever it's called is a private company, there's no shareholders, there's no board of directors. He is a king. Whatever he says goes. And he is taking that style of leadership into the biggest public job ever. And so he's not used to being held accountable, and he's not about to start.
Trump.org, by the way, organization.
Yeah. The current energy is Ace of Cups. So he comes out and says that he's all for open borders. And now we've got an Ace of Cups moment. This is, it's kind of like he cannot control his emotions. He's starting to lose control of things here. This is one of those things where he is super passionate about closed borders, and then he has this little faux pas, and then he says he's fully supportive of open borders. This is what the United States needs. Now, it's funny because the Republicans are great about projecting, and I happen to agree with them. We would benefit greatly from open borders. Overarching energy is the devil. He has tied himself to his agenda, and he is not letting go.
Well, I don't think even his followers will care.
That's I agree with you. We haven't gotten to the outcome of this, but I tend to agree with you that we're going to need to see a few more of these before the followers are going to start saying, maybe it's time to take Gramps.
Well, we get to troll them.
Yeah. The lesson to be learned, which we're not there yet, what we've just discussed, is the 8 of Cups. There's a point when you need to cut your losses and walk away from this situation.
Take the keys away from Grandpa.
Take your keys away, Grandpa. You're walking home.
No Tesla for you.
The outcome is the 5 of Cups. So right now, it's about sorrow. It's about loss. It's about cognitive loss. His best days are behind him, and his mind is starting to walk away, and we're starting to see it. Now, you can do a reading on whether the Republicans and MAGA see it, but we sure as hell see it. We've been seeing it.
If this is just one of those ones, you get your sound clip ready and ask them. This would be like the Jordan Klempers. So, do you believe we should have open borders? No, heck no. Well, apparently Donald Trump thinks we should have open borders. Here, watch this clip.
Yeah.
Whoa. So you're all for open borders now, right?
The sky is purple too.
Yeah, that's AI. That's a deep fake. That's
yeah.
He clearly meant something else. Cognitive dissonance.
Oh yeah, they'll try and spin it that he meant something else, but to screw up that one of all things, that's a really, really major screw up in my book. I can spin a lot of his stuff. Oh, they misquoted him. They took him out of context. It's like, even I'm like, nope, that's a bad.
Nope, just hold him to it and keep holding him to it. It won't matter, but keep holding him to it.
I think they should introduce open border legislation on the House floor.
I want to know how American oligarchs are viewing Trump right now. Because already he's costing them. The stock market's down several $1 trillion of wealth. Now, I've suspected that the oligarchs wanted this. Trump has been threatening it. It gives the oligarchs time to get their finances straight away. Hell, Warren Buffett has $300 billion. He sold off a bunch of assets over the summer. He has $300 billion in cash. Yeah, that man's just fine. He's sitting on a big pile of cash waiting for something good to happen. Some acquisitions.
Yeah, Warren Buffett saw this coming. Yeah. he knew the market was overextended, and this is playing right into his hands. Now we say Warren Buffett. I mean, he's representing a company, right. But it's not necessarily Warren Buffett's personal investment. It's his
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway. Thank you. So he was smart. He saw the writing on the walls, and he went to cash. And he's one of the Berkshire Hathaway is going to come out of this smelling like a damn rose.
Yeah. But other donors may not have expected things to be quite as severe as they've been, or more to the point, chaotic. Mm-hmm. They can plan for things and be ready to go, but they want it to be controlled. And this is not controlled. This is chaotic. Yep. And just like George Santos. George Santos got kicked out of Congress not because he got caught. He got caught scamming wealthy Republican donors. Yeah. If it was you or me he scammed, Republicans would have looked the other way. Mm-hmm. But when you scam the wealthy donors, Bernie Madoff, same thing. Yeah. Ponzi schemes, it's great if you rip off, common people, but if you rip off really wealthy people, the laws suddenly apply.
Yeah. So how are the Republican oligarchs feeling about this?
Yeah. How are the Republican oligarchs looking at this? All right.
I hope we can make this big enough for them to see, because those oligarchs are really blind.
I'm just going to remove you from the chat. How about that? Then I'll be the only one here. Gary's gone. that noise you hear is not Gary. That is just the echoes of his disquieted soul in the hallway of shame and banishment. Ace of Cups is the foundation of the reading of the oligarchs. Strong emotions. We had a deal. It's funny. This is what you voted for.
Oh God, there's the oligarch card too.
There's the oligarch card underneath it. Strong emotions, deals between people, big contracts between people, and the oligarchs underneath it. Let's see where we're going with it here.
All their hopes, wishes. Oh God Almighty!
Could I get all the oligarch cards in here? The only thing missing is the 10 of coins, right? So here's the oligarchs buying Congress, both sides of Congress. They want what they want. They want their tax cuts for themselves and their businesses and everything along those lines. The problem is, and they wanted lower interest rates. I don't think what they were expecting was the United States to blow up the world economy and become an isolationist nation. Trump, this is like the monkey's paw, where you wish for things, but you expect them to come the way you thought they were going to come, and they come a completely different way here. And they're bearing a burden with that. And Gary was saying that Trump also vacillated with Congress or the Senate, saying he's okay if Lindsey Graham asked him about taxing the wealthy. And he says, I'm okay raising the taxes on the wealthy.
He's open to it.
So things are difficult. The Republican oligarchs are, they had their eyes opened. I think they felt like they had this thing under control, and it's anything but under control. They might start looking at people to toss under said bus. But this is what you get. This is what you asked for. This is what you get. It's not telling me that they're going to get rid of them. It's just kind of, Spirit's way of saying, well, this is what you wished for. Yeah. You wished for lower taxes and lower interest rates and to make a killing in the stock market. So we gave it to you. I didn't mean like this. Well, you didn't say how you wanted it. Yeah. You just told me what you wanted. And I just
paid attention to Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway.
It's kind of like saying you want to lose 30 pounds and somebody cuts your arm off. You're 30 pounds lighter now. That's not what you meant. Well, that's not what you said.
Yeah, the Hermit card to me is kind of like Trump's losing the plot, and they're trying to find the plot again. And
I thought you said flock. How very biblical of you. You lost the flock too. Get the flock out of here.
And the Hangman is the oligarchs not happy with the situation they're finding themselves in, as the lesson to be learned.
Or you could be completely wrong.
I could very easily be completely wrong.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're the smarter of the.
Maybe I should do a 4-card reading on who was right and who was wrong.
Exactly. The ace of spades.
That's right. I don't know if I know anywhere what direction we want to go with this. I was too enraptured by your reading there.
Well, American oligarch. It didn't really answer if they're trying to get rid of them. It's just that they are.
They're not happy with
they're suffering. They're suffering with their life choices. Funny how that works.
Yeah, I just think that this is, to quote Pink Floyd, another brick in the wall. This just they're building that wall one brick at a time, and eventually they're going to realize that they've bricked themselves in, and they need to break out. So we're just not. I don't think we're there yet, but we're seeing it.
Right. I got nothing else. If you got nothing else.
No, I got nothing else. I got a couple of shout outs to give, but we should first thank everyone for watching Twin Tarot and supporting our channel. And if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up.
And a like, and leave a comment, because I don't read any of them. Gary does.
I know, it's true.
I run in there and delete comments and then say, I don't know anything about it. Gary must have deleted you. Must have banned you.
I keep having my comments deleted. I'm not doing it. So I'm sorry. I've got a bit of a cough. My wife is back from Japan, and
she asked me, your waffle is back from Japan?
My wife is back from Japan, and she asked me what I wanted, and I said, I'm good.
COVID. Could you bring me back COVID? I would really enjoy that.
Don't bring me anything. Well, she brought me something. So I would like to start this by thanking Betty Cutler, who made a very kind contribution to our channel. Thank you so much, Betty. And then I want. There was a comment today that really made me chuckle. It was Linda Ayala, and she was saying that she never got called out on Rob Room, so she wanted a shout out.
Is that by the last time? The first name she must have, probably not by the last name though.
Yeah,
I know with that one.
There were some common names that were not called out on Romper Room, and then she goes, to me, and then she had a follow up comment. She goes, she's only won one contest in her life. Sears and Roebuck had a dance contest, and they were playing Wooly Bully, and she was doing the jerk dance, which I'm not sure, but what that is, but that's probably what Dave and I look like whenever we dance. And she won. She won the dance contest. And
she won $100 in paneling.
No, it's worse. She got a gift certificate to the Sears and Roebuck Charm School. It's like, oh my God.
That's like worse than getting underwear for Christmas. You know what I mean?
It's like, what kind of price?
That's like the backhanded compliment.
Oh my God!
Here, I got you something for your birthday. It's charm and social graces lessons. Figured you could use it. There, give you the 8 of Wands, something you can throw back at the
Oh man, that was such a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Linda. You're a brave person. Sandy Johnson just wants a shout out. She just hi, Sandy. Oh, ooh, that looks like a 3 of Pentacles.
It's a mystery card.
Yes. Teresa Corrigan she never had her name Teresa called out on Romper Room, so she was quite sad. So we thought maybe. Ooh, 8 of Cups. Yeah, just walk away from that Romper Room thing. That was 50 years ago. Don't worry about that.
I never watched Romper Room after they failed to call Teresa's name. That I was in school at the time.
And I'm going to wrap it up with a couple of shout out requests.
What's a shout out request?
Well, it was a shout out, it was a request for a shout out, but not for the person who requested it, but for somebody else. So one of our commenters wanted a shout out for Kamala and Tim. Yeah, 8 of Wands again. Hey, get out there and get your message out, Kamala and Tim. My God.
I did cut the deck, so that's why some of these cards came back up again.
When we fight, we win. Is there another?
No kidding.
And then I've got a shout out for 2 kitty cats, Tom and Petty.
Ah, I've heard about those cats.
Yes, I have too. And then the last one is for SoCal Girl, who coincidentally also wanted to give it a shout out to her kitty cat, Laverne, who lived to be 21 years old and was the best cat ever.
All right, so we'll give 2 cards, and then she can figure out which one goes to which.
Okay. Is that Tom and Petty or is that Laverne?
That was Laverne, but I suppose I could do a couple for Tom and Petty too.
Yeah, we should give some for Tom and Petty.
Here we go. There's your Tom Petty cards.
Oh, those are good cards.
They are good cards.
They probably match
All my cards are good cards. Yeah, Death card and Ten of Swords. Yeah,
that would be tragic if you would have pulled that for Laverne. So that's what we got for you. And then for the rest of you who suffered through the 26 minutes of us yammering on about
most of us
nothing at all, you are very strong.
You're not really interested in tarot if you're tuning in this channel. All we do is complain.
Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Take care. We'll catch you on the next video.
Bye.